I want you to think back to your very first day at William and Mary. The nervous excitement, the feeling of stepping onto a campus rich with history and more bricks than you thought physically possible. The sense that the next few years would shape you in ways you couldn't yet imagine. Maybe you got lost trying to find your first class. Maybe you met someone that day who would become a lifelong friend. Maybe you wondered, do I really belong here? And yet, here we are. Our beginning wasn't typical. Many of us arrived in 2021, some came before, and others of you have arrived since. Some of us started this journey under masks, 6 feet apart, voices muffled. There was no big, open-armed welcome. Instead, we learned to build connection through barriers, to show up in spite of the silence, to speak even when we weren't sure we'd be heard. William and Mary isn't the kind of place you cruise through. It challenges you. Sometimes, it humbles you. But it also gives back. Professors who care more than you expect. Friends who show up when you least expect it. And quiet moments that shape you when you're not even paying attention. We found parts of ourselves in lecture halls, late-night kitchens, walks across campus, and conversations we didn't see coming. We started to figure out what mattered, and maybe just as importantly, what didn't. Somewhere along the way, many of us started to rethink what success means. When we got here, it looked like perfect grades, packed calendars, med school apps, and tech internships. We thought success meant control, checking all the boxes, but it started to shift. It became the friends who stayed when things got hard, the group chats that became lifelines, learning to rest without guilt, redefining our worth outside of performance. And for some of us, just showing up felt like an act of defiance. As a 6'5" Pakistani-American Muslim playing Division I football, there were times I knew I was taking up space in rooms I wasn't expected to be in. And there's a pressure that comes with that. But something my dad taught me always stuck. Something from Surah Al-Asr, a short chapter in the Quran. He pointed to one word, sabr, patience. Not just waiting, but enduring. Staying steady. Moving forward with dignity when the world feels heavy. And when I look at this class, I see sabr everywhere. In the late nights, the slow growth, the quiet strength it took just to keep going, that's a kind of success too. We carried more than just coursework. Women in this class have persisted through systems that still too often underestimate them. Minorities have navigated invisible pressures and visible boundaries. From 2021 to now, we've lived through a time of deep questioning, not just of who we are individually, but of who we are collectively. And now we graduate into a moment where diversity, equity, and inclusion, principles that helped many of us feel seen for the first time, are being challenged. Where freedoms we thought were secure are being quietly erased. But the people in this class know what it means to show up, to speak even when it feels like no one's listening, to carry not just our own ambition, but our responsibility to one another. Because let's be honest, the world we're stepping into looks different than the one we imagined when we first got here. Inflation, job market uncertainty, AI threatening to replace all of us, and none of us really know where we'll be in 5 years, except pre-meds. See you in 10. But if we've learned anything here, it's that we're built for chaos. We didn't just survive William and Mary. We thrived in one of the most rigorous academic environments in the country. We've learned to think critically, to adapt, and most importantly, to fake confidence when we have absolutely no idea what's going on. And that, my friends, is adulthood. So as we walk across this stage and into whatever version of the future is waiting, we carry more than just a degree. We carry the moments that made this place more than a school. We carry the reminder that belonging isn't about proving yourself. It's about being yourself. And we carry the weight of everything it took to get here. The student athletes who balance film study with finals, the science majors who haven't seen daylight since fall, the humanities folks who wrote 30 pages to answer one really good question, the artists, performers, researchers, organizers, lawyers, marine scientists, educators, leaders. Each of you added something to this place that can't be graded and shouldn't be forgotten. And beyond our classmates, thank you to the people who made all of this possible. To the dining hall workers who greeted us with a smile, the custodial staff who reset every space before we walked in, the administrators who kept things moving, even when everything was shifting by the week. You held this place up and we're grateful. And most of all, we carry each other. So wherever we go next, whatever we do, we stay curious, we stay kind, and we stay connected in all the ways that matter. Congratulations, class of 2025. We did it.